And mostly what's very important for me is I tell the viewer, click the link in the description if you want more information. And so, believe it or not, a lot of people click on those links.
Sushee Nzeuteum has built an automated YouTube business. In today's episode of Creators on Air, Sushee shares how she was able to build a YouTube business without showing her face and make it automated by hiring.
I started my career as a consultant in banking. So I was working at UBS in Zurich, but I was tired of that corporate life and I couldn't see myself really getting any higher. So I was getting depressed and I was watching online videos of digital nomads, and that type of life really intrigued me. I've also read, of course, the 4 Hour Work Week, and that was my Bible. I decided that this is the life that I want. And so I actually sold my house, quit my job, and moved to Thailand because I wanted to see who were those digital nomads. So I moved to Thailand. I made a lot of connections with people here making money online. And I decided to actually invest in a YouTube channel because I've always loved videos and YouTube. So I went onto a website called Empire Flippers where they have listings. So it's a marketplace and they have listings of all type of online businesses that you can buy. And I saw that they had a YouTube channel for sale. And I was like, yeah, I love videos. I think this is the type of thing that I will enjoy doing. And so I bought a YouTube channel from Empire Flippers. And it was, of course, very scary because that was my first adventure, right? My first entrepreneurial adventure. But everything went pretty well. I mean, of course, I had some highs and lows, but at the end, I managed to make it work. So that's what I've been doing.
That's amazing. And what is that process like of taking over someone's existing channel? Like, what were the things that you had to consider to make sure that was actually a good investment?
Yes. Okay. So first, that YouTube channel, of course, if you hear someone buying a YouTube channel, most of the people will think of personality channels. Like, no way you can buy a channel where you have a big personality who's doing the videos, like a vlogger. You cannot really buy those type of channels and just put your face instead of Mr. Beast, for instance. It's not possible. So what it is the type of channel that I bought is a channel what we called a YouTube faceless channel. So those are the channels where you hear a voiceover and you see images, but there's no personality. You don't see like a one hero shot of someone speaking. So those type of channels are easier to buy because nobody, like all the viewers, they won't know that the channel changed ownership because they will still see the same type of images. For instance, so like to give you an idea, we can talk about like meditation channels where it's just music. You hear like nice music in the background and you have like a still image. That is a channel that you can buy and you just reproduce the same type of video. So putting meditation music with a nice background. Another type would be a news channel where you see, for instance, people talking about the World Cup, right? You only see shots of the players and you just make a commentary of whatever's happening on the screen. So you don't need to have a person on screen, right? You only do voiceovers. So that's the type of channel that I bought. But the channel that I bought was doing, I mean, I cannot reveal the channel name, but it's the type of channel that promotes products. For instance, if you're looking for a Christmas tree, you will go online, mostly maybe on YouTube, and type best Christmas tree to buy on Amazon. And one of my video might come up, right? Or those type of channel, you will see like, here are the best Christmas tree for Christmas 2022. And on that channel, you will see actually manufacturers' videos showing you their product. And so what we do is just we put the manufacturer's video, so the promotional videos that the manufacturer did for their product, and we just put one manufacturer, then we put the other one, then the other one, then the other one. And on top of that, I have someone who write a script and just talk about those products. So they tell you, fine, this Christmas tree is great because the leaves don't fall, or it's small enough to go into a studio. So this is the type of voiceover that I have. So this is the channel that I bought was doing that. So it was easy for me to take over and make it grow. So the channel, when I bought it, was maybe 16,000 subscribers. And as of today, we have 122,000 subscribers. So it took me 3 years. It's been now 3 years that I've bought this channel, and I have more than 10x the profits. So it's doing
Wow.
very, very well. Yeah.
And how are you monetizing them? Because I imagine that differs for a faceless channel to a personality channel. Like, what are the differences when it comes to
Not
monetizing?
Yes, there's not that many differences, right? Because so we do have AdSense. AdSense
Hmm.
is actually maybe 45% of the revenue from the channel comes from AdSense. So it's a huge part. And then we have 50% coming from affiliate. So like for instance, Amazon Associates. Because what I do in those videos is I promote products. And mostly what's very important for me is I tell the viewer, click the link in the description if you want more information. And when they click on the link and they buy the product on Amazon or Walmart, I will get a commission. And so, believe it or not, a lot of people click on those links. It's insane. So, I didn't know that people were actually clicking on those links. And now, every time I hear a YouTuber saying, like, yes, I have a link in the description below, I know what he's talking about because people do click on those links, right? So,
I
it's
love
insane.
that.
So,
And are there some specific niches that lend itself very well to that kind of business model?
yeah, I would say it's possible to do it on almost every niche.
Hmm.
Um, but to make the most of it, you have to try to get AdSense and sponsorship and affiliate links. So if you do a type of channel where you are promoting products or that allows you to promote a lot of products, you'll be able to get AdSense. So that's when
Hmm.
people view your video and YouTube pays you for like 1,000 views and they give you like some type of rate. And to double up, if you're actually in your video asking people to click on the links in the description, then you get another extra revenue, right? So
Yeah.
that can be all type of niches. I would say, for instance, the gardening niche, right? You can promote so many tools and lawnmower and leaf blower, all type of things. And this is great because the products are also expensive. So 5% of 1,000 is better than 5% of $10, right? So I would try to promote expensive product, not too expensive, but it's better, right? To get
Yeah.
a big slice of the revenue. But you can do that. Yes, you can do that for I mean, like almost every niche. Like whatever niche you have to think about what product can I promote for that niche. So, but we have to think. I wouldn't think of niche. I would think of community mostly. Like I would go for the survival, the preppers, or I will go for the newly mom. I would go for hunters. See, so then you get a community or the golfers, and then you think about what products can I sell to that community.
So you're
It's
more
better
audience
than,
focused.
yes, right? Don't go like product niche. You have to go community niche. Then you can see what they need for their lifestyle, right? The student, and
Yeah.
think about what they need.
And when you're a personal brand or a personal channel, you think about your own interests and that's what you put out there. But if you're doing this as more of a business, should your niche or your audience be aligned with what you already can talk about, or is it more so making a strategic decision about what would make the most revenue? Like, how does somebody decide their niche or their audience in this kind of channel?
Well, you have to think, I think of it as a business. So this is my cash flow, cash cow machine, right? So I'm getting money from this. I'm not passionate about it, right? The niche doesn't have to be your passion, right? I'm just looking for a lucrative, so a niche that I know I will be able to promote a lot of products, right? So that's mostly what I'm looking at. I'm not looking at a niche that I like or a business that I like. I'm looking at opportunities and I go for that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, what makes it possible is because I've built a team, right? So I am not in the business anymore, right? Otherwise, it will get very tiring working on script, working on video editing, uploading to YouTube. There's so many clicks you have to do on YouTube, right? You go from the thumbnails, then the hashtags and the tags and the title, and then you have to put the hand screen and then the cards. It's so many things to do. But I have a full team that are doing everything. So for me, that business is working on its own now. So there's no way I can get tired of it, right? The only communication I have with my team is when someone is sick or if I have an idea for a video. But otherwise, there's nothing. I just pay the salary at the end of the month and we have a weekly meeting, so.
So, how big is your team, and how did you build it up? Was it gradual, or did you bring everyone on at the same time? Like, how did it work?
Yeah, at first, of course, like when it was my first business, so I bought the channel, the guy was making the video on its own, right? So, but he was only publishing maybe one or two video a week. And I did the first three videos by myself and I could see, so I could understand what was required. And then I started to hire people when I saw that the money was coming and that I had enough to hire someone. So the first person that I hired was the video editor. And after that, I was actually, what I did is I also hired some writers, but very, very cheap writers. So the quality was very bad of the script. And I had to spend days, not days, but hours on every script, try to correct with
Oh my
Grammarly.
gosh.
And that was taking so much time, but I didn't want to spend too much money, right? I was like, well, that's my new job. So I had to do it on my own. But it was very, very tiring. And when I felt more confident with the revenue, I decided to get better writers and also to hire a proofreader. So his name is Joe and he lives in London. So English is his first language. So his role is to actually review every single script that the writers have been providing to us. So now all the scripts are very high quality because they are proofread by Joe, all of them. It takes time, right, to build the team. Then
Hmm.
I also had to hire a voiceover because I wanted an American accent, and as you can hear, I'm from France. So I wanted a really, like, all American voice, so to build trust with the viewers, right? So, and yeah, so I would say the people that cost me the most are Joe, because he's from England, because he's English native, and also Chad, who's my voiceover.
Hmm.
Because those two, I really needed people who are English native.
Hmm.
So their job are very, very, high quality. The rest of the team are coming from the Philippines, India, Ghana, and some from Thailand. I'm located in Thailand, in Chiang Mai. So
Wow. And how did you find these people to outsource to? And how did you make that decision whether you're going to hire them as freelancers or actually employ them?
yeah. So I would say that my past experience already, I was a project manager for
Mm.
many, many years. I'm a certified professional project manager, so I'm PMP certified. And so everything that has to do with processes, systems, managing a team, that has been my experience for my whole life. So that was easy for me to set up processes, systems in the business. So we use Notion to do all the project management of the videos that we are creating, and we also communicate on Slack. So those are the main tools that we use as a team. To hire the team, I went onto several websites. At first, I went onto Fiverr, Upwork, and then I found a website called onlinejob.ph. And that website was really great for me because we could hire people full time. They don't really have the experience, but I was ready to train them. So that's why I'm able to pay, $400 to $500 a month for a full time person, which is insane, I would say, for
Mm.
when you look at the salary that we had before.
And how did you actually decide on things like salaries, how much you were going to pay everyone, and whether your business was ready for that?
Yeah. So I look at how I, first of all, I ask people around. So when I bought this YouTube channel, I actually contacted a lot of similar YouTube channels,
Oh,
right? So I
right.
wasn't afraid. So I actually contacted my competitors, and I'm like, hey, I'm just running this YouTube channel, and you have a similar one. I want to know, do you have a team or are you doing it on your own? So I was asking them questions. Only one person replied to me, and the other one they never replied. But that was great. So the guy told me, yes, we are a team. We have like, 5 people and we hire this, we hire that. And I was like, okay. So I got some insight from them
Mm-hmm.
and I tried to do the same thing. So I went on to, for the salary, I could see, like, just doing research online, I could see what was the monthly salary for people. And because the videos that we are doing are very, very, they don't require color grading, they don't require high after effects, nothing like this.
Yeah.
So I'm able to pay $10 a video, $15 a
Wow.
video, which is, it's a great price for me.
Yeah, that sounds
But
amazing.
exactly, but you have to know at that price, the communication. So the guy that I hired is from India, and his English is very, very poor, right? So that's what, but I don't require him to know English. But yeah,
Mm.
it takes a little bit of time. And I'm able to pay, not, I'm able to pay maybe below market rate or like $400 for full-time person. It's because I train them, right? So when they leave my team, they leave with tons of new skills that they're able
Mm-hmm.
to use, right? So they didn't know nothing about YouTube or like writing a script, but I have templates for them. So I teach them so many skills that I know that for a fact that they're able to work for any other YouTubers or any online industry, and they will be great assets. And that's also the reason why I have, for instance, 4 writers, but the pool of writers is always turning. And that's
Mm.
great also for my business, right? I don't want to, I'm always like, yes, if you want some scripts, let me know, and I send you some scripts to do for me. So the writers, I would say they're contractors, and like the people that I really have like in my team are the video editor, Joe, the proofreader, that is managing all the writers and the voiceover, and 2 people who are doing the post production. So what I mean by post production is validating the video, uploading the video to YouTube, doing all the SEO, so search engine optimization on YouTube, clicking everywhere, monetization, hashtags, everything. That takes time, and also to schedule the video for publishing. So I have 2 people who do that for me.
So you're managing a lot of people, all in different time zones. What does
Yes.
that workflow across the team look like?
Yeah, okay, because I implemented the system,
Mm.
everybody can go onto Notion and see the task that they have to do. And
Ah.
the way I implemented it is in a way that there's nothing is urgent and everybody can work at their own time. So it's a full pipeline of videos. Like we have, for instance, right now, I think we have uh, maybe 21 scripts that are in writing.
Wow.
We have 11 that Joe needs to proofread. We have like 17 scripts that are waiting for the voiceover to record. We have over 15 videos that are waiting to be edited. And so everybody comes and they see on the pipeline what they have to do, right? So
Wow.
it never stopped. It never stops. So, and I have also one guy who's doing the research. He's, when I said to him, for instance, oh, we need to create a video on Christmas tree, all I say really is Christmas tree. And then he knows exactly what to do. So he will have to look at what are the best Christmas tree, and he will do the research and then select, the 3 best or 5 or 7 best. He will rank them so that now we have, we want to do a video on Christmas tree, and here are the products that we want to mention in the script. When this is done, that goes to the writer. So the writer knows which product he needs to write about, right? So it's all very nicely done like that. So there's always work. Everybody comes and there's always like 5 or 6 scripts to write, a video to record, voiceover, or to edit. So it's working nicely like this, really, really nicely.
I love that. It's like a engine. I'm actually so curious. I want to be part of this team just so I can see what this all looks like. So
Yeah.
are you still coming up with the ideas then for the videos?
Yes and no. Actually, I'm sorry, I want to say, like, what I mentioned to you is what I call the content conveyor belt, right? The CCB. So that's what
Mm,
it is. It's a conveyor belt of ideas, scripts, voiceover, and all that goes into, so it goes into the conveyor belt, and the conveyor belt never stopped, right?
yeah.
It's always videos getting published. We publish 1 to 3 videos a day, right? On
Wow.
several channels. So
That's
yeah,
better than
so
the hamster wheel that I am on and many other creators are on. I love that. So you were saying that you still come up with some of the ideas though, or do you also have the team contributing as well?
yeah, it depends on which channel. I have one channel where Joe loves, and he has all the ideas, so I don't need to contribute. He has the ideas and he sends it to the writers right away. And some of them, they know exactly the type of videos that we need to do. So, but this is really like where I will still work on it. I will
Mm,
tell them the type of videos, because I know the seasons more than them, I would say. So, like,
yeah.
for instance, in our last meeting, I told them that we need to create videos for January, and I said, "Do you know what we need in January?" January, people are making new resolutions, so everybody is buying gym equipment. So right now, we need to create videos on treadmill, on elliptical, on yoga mat.
I love
So we have,
it.
yeah. So that's how it is. We have. I know the seasons. I know what we want, what we need to produce, but they
Yeah.
also contribute, of course.
So that's how you're kind of attracting your audience then you're following trends and relying more on search then, is it?
Exactly. Actually, when the channel started, we were relying on search a lot. So it was important for us to have the right keywords and everything in the title. Search was the biggest algorithm that was bringing us the views.
Hmm.
But now, for the past 12 months, I can see that now my videos are getting a lot of are getting recommended, and also on a browse. So I was very happy to notice that change. So seems like YouTube started to really push my videos. So that's great. That's great. So it's not only search now.
And do you have any advice for optimizing for search on YouTube?
Yeah, I would say yes. There's a difference. I would say, for instance, if you're doing for search, there's words. Depends what you do. But for us, we are promoting product, so you want to have the word best, because what it is that we want people at the end of the funnel, of the purchasing funnel. So right at it first, it starts with awareness, and then people start to want to make a decision, and then there's the action, right? So
Mm,
awareness, for instance, let's say we are talking about shoes. Yeah, and someone is looking, he realized that when you have flat feet, you can wear those type of shoes, but he didn't know. So that's a video, but that video, you won't be able to promote product. He just learned about that he had a flat feet issue. And
mm,
then you have another video that says flat you need to wear shoes when you have, this is the type of shoes that you need to wear when you have flat feet. Okay, so
right.
he's still getting some information. But then when he has all that information, then the next question that is asked will be, okay, what are the best shoes for flat feet? And that's where
Right.
you want to be, because you know that at that stage he's ready to buy,
Yeah.
right? So that's why on our video, I don't want to just educate, right? I want I want to catch them just before they go onto Amazon, or they go, I insert, sorry, I insert myself right before the purchase. So it's like the best microphone, the best camera, the best, the top five best. This is the type of video that that person will click the link in the description because he's ready to buy. He just need a little push, like someone to tell him which one is the best,
Yeah.
right? So that's also what he's going to type in the search box, right? He's going to type what are the best air fryer of 2022, and that's the title.
That makes a lot of sense. So you're doing this across all of your channels then, and were all of these channels that you acquired, or were there any that you grew from scratch?
I built one from scratch, and I acquired two channels in different niche as well.
Was that a lot harder then to monetize and grow as a faceless channel?
They're all faceless, right? And they have different growth. So the one that I created is because I've also created an online course where I show the whole process of how I manage and grow those faceless channel. And I wanted to show to my students that yes, I bought my first YouTube channel, but I want to show you that I can also create one and have the same
Mm,
type of success. So I created one like a year ago, and the channel is currently making $800 a month. So
that's really good.
it's pretty good, like after a year. And what's great with YouTube or any type of business is the compounding effect, right?
Yeah.
So right now it looks, of course, it started with 5 cents, $5, $10. Now it's 800. And I don't know when, but at one point those numbers are going to double every single month, right? So it might go from 1600, 3200, 6400. That might happen next year or in 5 months. We'll see. That we can predict.
No, I think that's great. I think it's great that you've made it feel more accessible then as well to creators who maybe can't afford to buy a channel. So I'm glad that you've said that. I think that's going to be reassuring for people who want to go down this route. I'm going to end with a quick fire round. So I'm going to ask you 5 questions and just answer the
Okay.
top thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
So, what's your favorite thing about being a creator?
Location independent. That's
Love
really
that.
what I love.
Yeah, and every time I'm on the call to you, you've got a different backdrop, and it always makes me want to be where you are. What's something that gives you a lot of inspiration?
Watching YouTube, really, like I'm a fan of YouTube. I watch so many videos and I get my inspiration from YouTube. So, yeah.
Yeah, I love YouTube too. What's your favorite tool?
I would say Notion.
Yeah, don't worry, a lot of people say Notion as
Oh,
well.
I wanted to be original, but I mean, yeah, I'm in Notion a lot, so it's helping me a
Yeah,
lot.
I feel like it's hard to be original. We all use such similar tools. What's something that helps with your work-life balance?
I just hired a PT, so a personal trainer,
Oh,
to work
amazing.
on my work-life balance. And that's great because, yeah, I'm watching my sleep now. I stay in bed a lot longer. I always sleep like 6 hours a night and I try to get to 8 hours. It's not easy for me, but that's important for like work-life balance. Now that my business are working pretty okay, I'm really focusing on my health now. So try to eat better, have a personal trainer. So I think that's my work-life balance.
Good, I'm glad to hear it. And what's one piece of advice that you give to other creators?
I would say follow your gut because your friends will never give you good advice. And really, that's what I learned. Like when I was trying to buy a YouTube channel, I was showing it to my friends and family, like, what do you think of this business? What do you think of that
Mm.
business? And they were all like, meh, I don't know. Of course, they don't want to take the responsibility to have, to throw you into this. So it's hard. You will never get a hell yeah from them. They don't want to be responsible. And when I realized that, I'm like, okay, I have to make the decision because I was also like kind of like delegating the risk to them. Like I was like,
Yeah.
what do you think? And like I wanted them to tell me yes, so then I can do it. But that's not their job, right? You have to take the risk. So when I realized that, I was a lot more bold in my actions. Like I was like, I think it's good. Nobody else is going to give me that advice anyway. So you have to trust your gut. That's what biggest advice I can say.
I think that is such good advice. And that's something that I had to realize as well when I was leaving dentistry. Everyone was like, oh, maybe you shouldn't do that. And I had to follow my gut as well. And I think that is just such great advice. Perfect advice to end the call on. Thank you so much, Sushee. This was an amazing call. You really
Thank you,
opened my
Akta.
eyes to faceless channels. And I think this will really inspire all YouTubers or all creators to really think about the business aspect and getting off the hamster wheel and creating their own conveyor belt. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Akta. You're doing a great job at Passionfruit, and I love
Oh,
your podcast. I've been watching the podcast, and it's just
really?
insane. So
Oh,
thank you
thank
so
you
much,
so
and keep
much.
on doing it. It's really great.
Whether you want to build a faceless channel or not, I think there's a lot that we can take away from Sushee. I think it's really impressive that she was able to build a team and make YouTube more automated. If you want to learn more from Sushee, check out YouTube Business Builder Academy. And if you want to do sponsorships without the hassle, then check out Passionfroot. We handle sponsorships, bookings, collaborations, and payments all in one place. I'll see you in the next one.